Hello, farmers, and welcome to another episode of the harvest season. My name is Kevin,
And my name is Cody.
and we are here to talk about cottagecore games. Woo!
Ooh. Are we here to talk about cozy games?
Ah, I hope not.
I just wanted to trigger Al a little bit.
I'm triggered. It doesn't sound like a cozy game from what you've described. It sounds like an addiction. You need to stop.
A plague that
Welcome,
needs to be released.
welcome to the township intervention of Cody today,
Township
everyone.
intervention. Yeah, for sure. Uh,
Um,
I played Township, and when we needed a topic on a dime, I was like, "Can we please cover this game so I can uninstall it?"
Yeah, I mean, yeah, oh yeah. If people only knew, like, it was like, I mean, first of all, okay, I was supposed to do an episode with Al, and we had to pivot like twice, and then he grew sick, and so then Cody had to join, and
He
then we had
was
to pivot
very
with
ill.
that.
Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah, we had to pivot. I had a small breakdown because of personal reasons, but I am here
yep,
and I am queer. Okay. So Township episode. That's what today is.
yeah, we'll get to there after we talk about news and games and things.
Hmm.
Um, y- I don't know if Al even I don't recall if Al says it, but we got the you know how it works, folks. We got the show notes, we got the transcript all on the website, all those good things.
Oh yeah.
And speaking of good things, hopefully, what have you been up to, Cody?
I have been getting healing from tearing my calf muscle.
Oh,
Um,
oh, that's not great.
Yeah, so I tore my calf muscle. It is, at least it wasn't the Achilles. We initially thought it was the Achilles, but it was not that. So tore that, and then am in physical therapy now, and it's honestly already so much better. So
Sick.
it did not slow me down, y'all.
That's great.
Last
How
week,
did
sorry,
the
what?
tearing occur?
I tried to run for 4 whole seconds. I ran for 4 seconds and I tore my calf muscle.
Just
And this, kids,
immediate
is why
collapse.
you don't exercise. No, I am a super clumsy human and super accident prone, which is why I also had ACL reconstruction surgery a few years ago.
Sick.
And so when they told me it might be my Achilles, I had a mini meltdown because I did not want to go through that again.
Uh,
But it was not, it is thankfully not that. It was just a calf muscle and it cannot keep me down. I am already out of the boot. I'm already doing stuff. Though
yeah, that's great.
the physical therapist today had me do lunges for a whole minute and I had to tap out. I kept trying to go and she was like, "Girl, no, you're done. Like, stop."
Gonna tear it again.
Yeah, basically. She's like, "You're pushing yourself too hard." And I was like, "I should be able to do this." And she was like, "Girl, no, come back next week." They love me there because they know me. They remember me from my ACL tear and how, like, they would say, like, "Okay, you can stop at 10." And I'd be like, "I'm going to do 20." Or, like, they would put the weight on, like, 30 pounds or something. And then they'd come back and they were like, did you up the weight? And I was like, 30 was too light. I wanted 40. So they're very aware that they need to, like, reel me in. So that was the big thing 2 weeks ago. And then last week I was at the bee lab down in Maryland. So there's a gentleman down there who is the bee god of the East Coast. You can give him pretty much any bee and he can identify it for you and tell you
Yeah,
all
I
about
remember
its
talk
natural
about
history.
this guy.
Yeah, he is amazing and he's so sweet. And so we went down to have him identify some of our bees. And when we go down, he doesn't accept payment because he works for the government, so he, like, can't accept payment. And he also can't be on, like, he can't be an author on papers. It's, like, too difficult for him. He doesn't want to. So usually when we go down to do stuff like that, and he identifies things for us, we just do things for them. So they basically had a bunch of bees that needed to be organized. So we did that. It was very interesting. Unfortunately, he got COVID very quickly into us being there. while we were there, he, like, by the second day, he was very ill. So we didn't see him anymore, and he still has RBs because he was not able to do them. And I hope, honestly, that he is well. I actually have not asked for an update.
That's rough.
I need to do that. But I mean, we still did our part, and so now we're just waiting. And now I'm back, and I am ready to hit the ground running with my research and stuff, and continuing to play Coral
Figuratively,
Island.
please don't run.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm not gonna run literally for a while. Still playing Coral Island, and I have upgraded my home to the max level. And I have proposed to Scott once, and he said no. So
wait, they can say no?
He said no.
Whoa.
So I tried to propose to him one day, and the thing was like, your house isn't big enough. And so I was like, okay. So I went and like,
oh, that's why. Oh, that's how it is.
No, I upgraded my house, and then I went back, and he was like, I'm just not ready to take that next step with you. And I'm like, boy, we have 10 hearts. Like, I don't know what you want. And I like tried to give him the diamond and everything and the diamond ring, and he was just like, nah. So I don't know if like there's this magical other thing that happens or something. So I'm just still throwing fossils at him and hugging him whenever I can.
About this diamond to your face.
Taking him on dates. I don't know if I have to like ask him at a certain point, because then I went to the cavern recently, and he was there, and he was just like, I always feel like magical when you're here in the cavern with me. And I was like, oh, am I supposed to propose to you in the cavern? So, or maybe in the museum. I don't know. Maybe he just didn't want it under that tree with the doctor watching. So,
you know what? That's actually kind of cool if it's like a location requirement or whatever, right, to be meaningful or special.
Oh, and I have also made it to the savannah now. But fun fact, you make it to the savannah, and then before you can enter the Cave of Memories, you actually have to like do another thing. So I'm just perpetually fighting these quests and these thresholds, but I'm going to get there. I'm still motivated to get there. I'm still enjoying myself.
Sick.
What about you, Kev?
I'm just thinking, what is in the savannah? Like,
so there's a Cave of Memories. There's a couple other animals that unlock once you get to the savannah. There was like ostriches there, and there's like some kind of buffalo and some other stuff. I don't know if you have to go to a certain person. There's not a map. And the fun thing about the cloud gaming servers is sometimes if you do too much in a day, it protests and it just erases all of your progress for the day.
Oh, that's great.
So and usually I'll play for like an hour and a half, and then I hit the point where it's like saving the game day or whatever, and it says saving game, and then it just like shuts down and is like lost connection to the server. And then when I start it back up, it just goes straight to the like loading up, and it starts the day all over. So whenever I do something new, I usually like go like with the savannah. I went to the savannah. I like progressed the quest for the giants, and then I was like, this is not. I like basically stood on the cliff overseeing the savannah, and I was like, wow, this looks really nice. And then I went home and ended the day at 7 a.m. because I was like, I don't want to do anything else today. I just want this to make sure that it saves the fact that I got to the savannah.
Can you not save without the sleeping part?
Man, I have not attempted that. Maybe I can. Maybe I should try that. But I just always go home. And I'm also at the point where... Sorry, this is suddenly Coral Island cast. I'm at the point where I have the computer and all of the upgrades, and so I can look whenever I can look and see what insects are spawning, what ocean critters are spawning, and what fish are spawning. So if there's anything that I don't have in the museum, I can find it. But I'm in the middle of... I'm near the end of spring now, I guess. And I've caught all of the spring stuff. So I am kind of like almost at the point literally of just like starting the game, ending the day, starting the day, ending the day to like get through spring
Mm-hmm.
because I just want to be in summer so I can start getting the summer stuff. But
Can't change that DS clock on Animal Crossing.
no, I'm not going to do
Oh,
that. I would just start day, end day.
ah,
Um,
oh man, good times, good times.
but what are
Um,
you up to?
oh, work, oh, work. That's amazing. I, I was somewhat ill last week, and I just recovered. You may hear me coughing due to that, but just a heads up for folks. Thank you, bees. I consumed much honey during the recovery period, so they helped.
Yay.
Um, so yeah, bees cool. But when I do game the brief moments, I mean it's all right now. I'm in a very much like I'm doing my dailies sort of thing for
Yeah.
different games. Right, like I don't have. I think mostly the time I would say to dedicate to a big venture, trying to clear stuff or whatever. So a lot of grindy, mindless stuff that's fun for me, right? That's
Yep.
stuff like Marvel Snap, Pokemon Unite. Probably the biggest time sink is still Zenless Zone Zero. Um,
Hmm.
are you familiar with that one, Cody?
I am not. What is that?
Okay. So, I think I've talked about it here, but brief recap for, I guess. It is a MiHoYo game, which is the Genshin Impact company. So,
Okay.
um, it is a gotcha game. Um, much like Genshin Impact and their other one, Honkai.
Yep.
But this one is Genshin is kind of like Breath of the Wild. Honkai is a turn-based RPG sort of thing. This one is more character actiony, mashing stuff buttons to beat up bad guys, real time, that sort of
Okay.
thing. Um, it is it's a very stylish and fun game. It's also very heavy on the lore and the world building, a whole bunch of nonsense. Basically, they live in a world where there's just space-time distortions that'll just pop up everywhere, and people turn into monsters in them. And so, yeah, people trying to navigate life with that kind of risk around the corner, where it could just pop up anywhere and you can turn into a monster. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, that's they that's what I've been up to. I'm caught up with the story. It's a relatively new game. It's only started in the summer, so it's only up to like the fourth chapter right now. And so each chapter you get a different crew that you can play as. They'll give you trials and then, or trial usages, and then later you can pull for them as part of the gotcha or whatever, right? And so there's different factions and whatnot. You have a biker gang, that's the newest faction. You have this fancy butler group. They call themselves a housekeeping group, but they're really fun. So on and so forth. There's animal people in this world too.
Mm-hmm.
Like it can vary from your typical cat boy slash girl to full on wolf furry or just a bear. You can play as just a bear guy.
Okay.
I love him. He's an accountant. Um,
Oh my gosh.
yeah. The game is quite because if it's gotcha daily nature, they fill it up with all sorts of extra content, lots of little mini game events and things like that to keep you busy.
Mm-hmm.
There was an event where I ran a restaurant for a little bit. There's an arcade with in-depth mini games that have sucked me in lately, and so on and so forth. But yeah, so that's one of my go-tos that I just grind through and enjoy.
Okay. On PC or?
Uh, so MiHoYo games are more or less designed to be on anything, including mobile.
Okay.
Um, this game will run on a strong enough phone or whatever. I play on the PlayStation, but you can, it's cross save and whatever, so you can play pretty much wherever. I don't think it's on the Switch. That might be the only one it's not on because they don't have MiHoYo games on the Switch. But other than that, it's on pretty much anything.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's roughly what I've been up to. Like I said, just very zen me time. No pun intended with the name there, but yeah, that's roughly what I've been up to. Um. Oh, there is one other thing actually. Just this past week, art. So, oh gosh, I haven't
Art.
actually posted on my art account yet, but it is Inktober, or legally distinct Inktober, since that one's taken. Um and actually there's this one guy who organizes a thing for pixel artists specifically in September, since I forgot about it last month. I'm doing it this month.
Yeah.
And the theme is a quite fun one. It's a monster maker, not like a universal spooky monsters, but as in Pokemon, fake monster maker.
Yeah.
So every day, there's a theme, and I'm whipping up a fake little monster Pokemon thing for it.
How
So
fun.
I put it on the Slack where we hang out with friends, but I'll be posting it soon on my art account. I'll be to get that going. So that's certainly been fun.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's roughly what I've been up to. Um,
Woo.
there we go. All right. Now let's see what the world of cottagecore has been up to, shall we?
The
Um,
world of cozy.
though, unfortunately. All right. First, let's talk about cozy researching, because research story has an update. The zero, only at 0.10 update.
Yep.
I thought they were farther in. Okay. Um, cosmetic things, some small fixes. But the next update, 0.11, will be a bigger one that they're hoping to complete by the end of the year, which will include all NPC Orange Heart events. I assume that's just their dating stuff. The greenhouse, not our premium show, but probably farming ad nauseum. House upgrade 2, and oh good gosh, shimmers, rare variant creatures. What?
Shinies.
Oh, you know
Your
how
shiny
you know how
research story Pokemon.
you know how every farming game doesn't have to have romance. So, guys, every Pokemon
Creature collector.
does not need shinies. It doesn't.
I will say though that in the real, every now and then I do see like an actual shiny like
Yeah, sure.
Pokemon, quote unquote Pokemon, like wildlife. Like every
Yeah.
now and then at the wildlife center, we'll get like an all black squirrel or an all white raven.
Oh.
Yeah, and so they basically are like real world shinies, but
Yeah.
they,
Yeah. I mean, yeah, for sure. That right. Absolutely right. Like, I mean, albinoism, right? Like, is the poster child for real life
yeah,
shinies.
it's
But even other odd color
albinism.
pairs.
Albinism and melanism are the two. So melanism is when things are darker, and albinism.
Ah, I
Oh,
didn't
and then
realize.
leucistic is another thing. It's not. It's like albinism, but it's not as intense. Like leucistic things will usually only have either part of the like skin won't be, or like the fur or feathers. So it won't be all of them that are lighter colored, but they also
Ah,
do not have the red eyes. So
okay.
albinism is like an entire lack of
Right.
anything,
Right.
and so they don't even have eye color.
Right.
So it's just like red. But so
Okay.
yeah, there's actually a
Okay.
secret third thing.
The secret third shiny variant. That'll save Pokemon Go.
Leucistic.
Um,
So
I
yeah,
yeah, I'm looking at the pictures right now. Okay, I see. Because obviously, albinism with the total lack of pigmentation, you can see the red shows up because of the blood vessels and all that,
yep,
right? But
yep,
yeah, I'm seeing some of these are just like white animals, but like
yep.
look more normal. Yeah, more shiny variants.
Yes,
That's
those
really
would be
cool.
leucistic. So I will say they do exist. They're not. It's not shiny, but the calling it the shimmers, I
Hmm.
think, is where we're like, okay, come on, research.
So, see, for a game called Research Story, it would be cool. I would be have the totally opposite reaction if they just went by these actual names, right? Like
Yeah, like find
that would be
the
so
leucistic
dope.
variant. The
Yeah, that would be so dope.
dude. So Super Zoo Story should do that because it's a wildlife thing. Because
Yeah.
so oftentimes melanistic or leucistic animals, depending on their habitat, like it can really reduce their ability to survive in the wild. And so some of them, like some leucistic, like if we get a super leucistic animal, like we got a leucistic groundhog that was just white. Like a
Yeah.
white groundhog. That thing's not going to survive. So we
No.
don't end up releasing those. Um, Melanism, it depends. So like we get melanistic squirrels all the time, and they're fine.
Yeah, sure.
And it's a
Yeah.
recessive trait. So we always release them on the property because then they'll produce more
Hmm.
melanistic squirrels with the melanistic population we already have.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that definitely sounds like a win-win because yeah, if you're, like a white, like literal walking target,
Yeah, 100%.
yeah, and so you can hang out in a zoo and be a cool thing that people are going to want to see. Yeah, no, that seems like a win-win to keep those.
Yeah.
Um, oh man. Oh,
So yeah.
yeah, small tangents around wildlife talk. I saw, what did it go? Katie did?
A
Those are
Katie did.
yes, I saw one for the first time the other day outside. They,
Yeah, so you
those are so cool.
yeah, you can hear them. I mean, they're basically nighttime crickets, right? So like
Yeah.
crickets usually will chirp during either dawn or dusk. But katydids do it at night, and so they're called katydids because they sound like they're saying katydid, 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 like
Just
whatever.
like Pokemon.
Just like Pokemon. And there's some really cool ones. I actually saw one. So they're usually herbivorous, so they eat like plant material because they're kind of like a grass. They're super related to grasshoppers and crickets.
Yeah,
But there is one that's a
it's
predator.
just a leaf with a grasshopper head.
It's just
That's
a leaf.
all it looks like.
Yeah, they do mimic leaves to like not get eaten. But I did see one in Costa Rica that was predatory. So it mimics leaves and it actually eats other things. And it was on
Dang.
it was eating beetle larvae on this one. It was really cool. And they are not predatory very often, so it was really cool to see that.
Oh yeah, no, that would be fascinating to see. Just hearing that. That's so cool. Seeing yeah, typically
It's
herbivore starting
basically like if you
man-eater.
if you found a cow in the wild and then the cow like ate like I guess well so cows and deer and everything, they'll eat birds. If they find a baby bird
Really?
nest, they'll eat them.
Huh.
Nature is wild.
What's that Family Guy clip? She's scary.
Yeah, nature is scary. 100%. Things do whatever they need to do.
Yeah. Maybe it's kind pink. Sorry, I'm just Googling image
They
searching. I didn't
can. There
know
are
that.
some
That's so
pink
cool.
katydids. There's some really cool butterflies that have pink like pink edges on their wings and stuff too.
Yeah. Yeah.
More shimmer Pokemon not Pokemon. Shimmer wildlife like in Research Story.
But the real ones. Do the real ones at least.
But
That's Research Story. Welcome.
Wee.
Look, if it's me and Cody, there's a good chance we'll get into wildlife talk.
Tangents.
She lives in it by her profession. I live in it by, well, where I live.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that is Research Story. Again, the original thing, the .10 update, the .10 update's out now with various small cosmetic things. Check the link; it'll be in the show notes. Speaking of updates that are out now, Horticular, our gnome game, has an update. Boy, I don't remember what this game's like, but excuse me. The here, let me just get the blurb straight from the thing here. So it focuses largely on community feedback with huge changes to how you can build and manage your habitats in your garden. As being the premise of the game is you're a bunch of gnomes trying to restore a garden.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there's there's a pretty decent size, right? Like it's 1.1. Uh, a lot of UI stuff and how the creatures will interact with you. Yeah, there's a pretty decently sized changelog to describe it, but I do appreciate the response basically, right? Because it's all community feedback, and so this sounds like a really nifty feature. So good for them. Yeah, good. Apparently one of the big things is creatures will let you know earlier if they don't like their habitat.
Yeah,
And
so
so on and so
apparently
forth.
before, like, they would just move, and so you would just, like, you'd be like, where did they go?
It's like
But now
Animal
they'll let you
Crossing.
know. earlier. Yeah. You see your person, instead of just like them being gone, you actually get to see them walking around with a thought bubble now. I'd be like, no,
Oh man,
what do you want?
the good old days of OG
How,
Animal Crossing, where
where you
oh
you re-logged on after you dropped it for a while, and then your
yep,
favorite villager is like gone, and you're
yeah. Or if you play with friends, the risk, the Russian roulette that
oh
you lose
yeah.
your neighbor to them. Oh,
uh,
wild times, OG Animal Crossing. Wild.
and then you gotta
Oh my
like,
goodness. So
and
there you
then
go.
you never like that friend again because
No.
they stole Blue Bear from me.
Oh my god. Aziz was one of the first ones for me.
Yeah.
So there you go. Horticular, faster response time than Animal Crossing. There you go, folks.
Woo. Did you mention that
Um,
it's 20% off on Steam until October 21st?
well, there you go.
There you go.
All right. Next up. Actually, I think Steam, at the time of recording, I think I saw like Steam's doing an Animal Fest thing. That might be part of it.
Oh, that makes
So yeah,
sense.
yeah. There's probably actually a handful of cottagecore-esque similar games on sale, that people might like. So I suggest you guys hop on Steam and check it out.
Hmm.
I really appreciate those themed weeks and sales and whatnot.
My wallet
It's
doesn't appreciate them.
well, true. Well, you're right. I appreciate it in theory, but I can't partake in it right now.
Yeah, no, I
Um,
don't. You like mentioned that it's on, and that there's like that sale, and I'm like, I'm not looking. I'm not gonna do it.
don't look. Don't look. All right. Next up, we got My Time at Sandrock. We got the 1.4 update dropping October 8th, which will already be out by the time you guys are listening to my
Mm-hmm.
voice, our voices.
Mm-hmm.
You unlock brand new post-marriage quests for Justice. Oh, Grace Cheeky. I don't know how you pronounce that. Logan, Emera Fang, Mian Nia, and Unsur. Wow, all these names. After you tie the knot. What? Okay, so more depth to relationships after marriage. That's a cool that's a cool concept, right? Because it feels like so many of these romance games, it kind of just stops there after marriage, right?
Yep.
So I appreciate, I've talked about it before, actually doing stuff with your spouse. So hopefully that kind of addresses that.
Yeah, I am actually feeling related to that. I'm feeling bad about trying to get Scott to marry me because I don't want him to just lose his entire autonomy. So it is nice to like think of or that know that some games are giving them some form of
Hmm.
after marriage life
Yep.
for sure.
So yeah. So that's one of the big things, but there's a handful of other things in the update. Some Kickstarter design stuff, including a new quest, some monsters, a bus system for uh start running from Porsche. I don't know what that means, but some home furniture stuff and so on and so forth. So yeah, all that is part of the free update. There is, let's see here. Oh, new voice recordings, huh? I didn't know that. That's interesting. Yeah, that's that's all out or should be out by the time you guys hear this.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, so go check it out. Again, Steam page has all the details and whatnot. Also, My Time at Evershine. Jeez Louise, Kickstarter's up to 1.8 million dollars.
Yep.
Uh, with roughly 2 weeks to go as of this recording.
Yep.
Um, okay, good for you,
Wild.
Evershine. They're out there. They're hustling.
They are.
All right. Speaking of hustling, question mark. I don't know because this feels like it should have been there already. Winds of Anthos. Uh, there's been a slight DLC delay. It'll be October 10th, only a week late from the original date, and again, by the time you guys listen to this, will probably be out. And that's you can camp wherever you are, which really feels like they should have been there at the
Yeah.
beginning.
And you can
Um,
like bring your pets camping with you and like all this other stuff. It was a cute little sounding update.
yeah,
And so yeah, they just They just gave it an extra week
You
to
make
probably
curry
finish
with
some
your
stuff.
friends, though.
I'm sick of making curry in games.
Yeah, no, it's a weird one.
I want to make, gosh, I want to make macarons with my friends.
Oh my, macarons are real hard to make, aren't
They
they?
are. That's how you test a friendship, for
Oh my,
sure.
IRL overcooked macarons a
Oh
challenge.
gosh, yeah, that's how. That's going to be me and my boyfriend this upcoming weekend. He said that he's going to make macarons for this party we're going to, and he is of the mind that like if it is at all not incorrect, but it like not to his standards, he just tosses them. And I'm like, they're
Oh,
still delicious. They just didn't
yes.
rise the way you wanted them to. Please let me
No,
eat them.
no,
And he's like, no, they're
no.
mediocre. I'm like,
You,
yeah.
oh, this, that's how you grow. That's the training. You gotta take your licks.
No, dude,
Um,
he's such
and
a
it's usually
perfectionist.
not as bad as you think, as someone
It's
who likes to cook, right? Like
it's
your own
never as
harshest
bad.
critic.
Yeah.
Um,
It's never as bad. And we can just tell people I made them. I don't care. Like if they look bad,
they got damage in transit.
a couple of them lost their lives on the way.
Oh no. Well, yeah, no, there's no macarons in this update. But what there is something else people aren't probably sick of. Fishbow. Moonstone Island. Continuing
Fishbowl.
their tradition of crossing over with things and fishbowing everything.
Crossing
Um,
over?
yeah, they crossed over with a handful of things now.
No, do you know Crossing Over with John Edwards? Like, or whatever, whoever it was. It was this show. There was this guy who was a medium who would help people, quote unquote, help people talk to their loved one from beyond the grave.
Oh my
So,
gosh.
and that was called Crossing Over. Like so like I'm like thinking about like Fishbow like leading a seance. Like Fishbow being the medium to like sorry. We're
Call
off the rails,
California
so.
Fishbows to get guidance on your life and
Yeah, pretty
finances.
much. Jesus. You call Fishbow to talk to grandma to figure out where the treasure was buried.
Sick. I'd be down for that. Moonstone Island. You can have that idea and give us
Just free. Just completely
our
free.
medium. Give us our psychic medium fishbow.
Fishbow.
It wouldn't be outlandish. There are psychic types in that game.
Dude, and he already looks like he already kind of has this like mystical look to him.
Yeah, just put on a hat on
Just
the
put
bowl.
on a hat. Yeah. Okay,
Oh,
but what
okay.
about Fishbow? Sorry.
Fishbow is coming to Koromon, which is another creature collector that I didn't really know existed until today. But it has nice key art, I'll say that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You can actually play as Fishbow. It will become your character outfit. There's actually a
Mm.
few other ones, including the standard avatar, the wizard guy, I forget his name. And
Yeah.
but yeah, Fishbow. What What's interesting is so fishbow is like the fishbowl with legs, but here
Yeah.
it's a guy with the fishbow for the head. So you have full arms and everything. So yeah, Koromon, that's only $5 on Steam right now. Um, you can check that out. I'm kind of interested. I'm looking at this art. This looks
Yep.
nice. I'm gonna eye this. Um, so yeah. Oh, so yeah, that's I think that's there's nothing I think actually in Moonstone Island in regards to this, but they're just announcing that fun little crossover. So go
Yep.
check out Coromon and get your fishbow for you. Um, okay. Speaking of things for you, and by for you I mean for me and probably Cody, Super Zoo Story, the Kickstarter is
Woo!
now live. So this is the game we've covered it before. How should I put it? It's your typical cottage core farming thing, but it's focused on a zoo instead of a farm, right? Which is a cool concept in my opinion, and a fresh spin on it. The Kickstarter is now live. The goal has been crushed. We are at 60K. What was their original goal? Oh no, sorry. The original goal was 60K. We're almost at 100K at the time of this recording. Um, So, it's going to be made theoretically. um,
Mm-hmm.
Currently only on Steam, but there are going to be stretch goals. Which some of which are they've already hit. They're adding some extinct and rare animals. We're getting the animal encyclopedia already. We are close to the bird aviary, so we can
Mm-hmm.
house the birds and the insects. That's an important one. Go fund it, guys. It's only like 4K more. Come on, I want a toucan. Um, so there you go. So put that in there. And there's several other stretch goals. Consoles are pretty high up there. That'd be nice. But second island expansion. What does that mean? Um,
Another island.
yeah. So yeah, go check it out. If you haven't seen it, the whole Kickstarter has all the details on the game. It looks pretty quality. A lot of love in this one. Out of if it's going to be a Stardew like clone, whatever. They are putting a lot of effort into the zoo aspect of it. All the animals look really nice. It looks like a lot of care and systems to do that. And of course, you have all your relationships and romances and so on and so forth. And there is farming, of course, festivals, all that good stuff. Um, oh, there's dinosaurs. That's already in there. Sick. Um, yeah, Super Zoo story. I'm already locked in. I'm gonna get this one 100%.
Yeah, so
Um,
I just figured out my Kickstarter information. I've been
I'm looking
literally
down.
the
I'm
whole
looking
time,
down the list as well.
the whole time that you've been talking, I've just been like trying to figure out my Kickstarter stuff.
Oh, these are quite reasonable. $35, the highest. There's not the 2000. Oh wait, those are all gone. Never mind. Oh wait, there they are. I was looking the wrong one. Oh no,
Okay,
there it
there you
is. There's the 3001.
go. Okay,
Oh my god. Oh, you can
back
design your
this
NPC
project.
for marriage.
Digital
If I
game
had the money, I'd love to do
key.
one of those one day just for the giggles. Um,
Do I want beta access? I don't think I do. I don't
I
care
don't
about
think.
in-game. I don't. No, I'm just going for the $20. Let's do it.
Yeah, probably $20 usually a safe one to go with, right? That's usually play the
Ugh,
game and
it
stuff.
needs my. Oh, cool. Never mind. My card is
Hey, that's your credits.
saved on this computer.
Yeah, yep.
No.
So check it out, folks. If you have 3K just sitting around,
Oops, that's
uh,
not right.
drop it in and drop
What?
it in.
3K?
Yeah, to design an NPC for marriage candidate. So for
Pledge.
the sake of the podcast, just drop the 3K and you could add Fishbow in or Al.
I did it.
Your
I
pick.
pledged.
There we go. One step closer to the bird sanctuary. So this has 23 days to go. You have a couple of weeks. But don't forget. I know everyone will forget, and we'll remind you when it's about to end. But check it out. Back it. Looks like a great game.
Mhm.
Very excited for Super Z
I
Story.
never back things. This is, come on, y'all.
Yep, there
Join
you go.
me.
I like aminals, you guys.
I want the console releases at 210.
That'd
Okay.
be nice.
And we're almost at
Um,
100. We can do it. We got 26 days left.
we got extinct animals. But which extinct animals? Did they get the
Oh,
good
yeah.
ones?
Let me look at that. They had the
Woolly
list.
marsupial wolf, the quagga.
Marsupial wolf. The marsupial wolf makes me super sad.
Yeah.
Because that, like, we still have pictures of it. Like
Here,
it became extinct so recently that we had photographs of it.
do we get moas? I'd like a moa.
Well, it says they only list a couple. What is a quagga? Oh, it's the zebra thing. Okay.
Have you ever seen that show, Extinct or Alive?
No.
No. So it's about a guy. Like I think he's the grandson of the guy who like found the modern day coelacanth or whatever, right? So he's
Mm-hmm.
dedicated to conversation. So the grandson's dedicated to conservation and all that, and he goes out and tries to find animals that are supposedly extinct to see if they're still out there, which is
Okay.
cool. Yeah.
Wonder if
Um,
there's an ivory-billed woodpecker episode.
I believe there is actually, yes.
That was drama. That was some drama.
He actually has a pretty high success rate, all things considered.
Well,
Um,
and yeah, I'm not going to bring it up. Let's continue.
I mean, yeah. All right, all right. But yeah, Super Zoo Story. You can enjoy extinct animals without all that drama, like the woolly rhino
Hmm.
or the wolf. Um, okay. I like in the notes, even Al says, "My God, is this game going to get me to kickstart it?"
No, no. So I wrote that. Sorry, I wrote
Oh,
that.
oh,
And yeah, it did.
okay. Well, there you go.
You started talking about it again, or you started talking about it, and I was like, ugh, yeah, it is.
All right. So that's all for the updates and such. Let's talk about new game announcements. And we're gonna start off with one that's near and dear to me. In whether I want to or not, genetically speaking, Gaucho in the Grassland. Where you play as a Latin cowboy in all caps per the Steam page, where
Hmm.
you farm, and there's adventures, grasslands, and of course highlands. They have to be cozy.
They are
Um,
cozy. They are
yep,
quoted as cozy.
yep. So it's I will say, despite all the general or the usual uh descriptors, I think the game looks fun. It's a 3D game and has a very sort of cartoony art style to it. Kind of reminds me of Fabledom, I would say.
Okay.
You can feel the Latin influence, the music, uh, some of the character designs and architecture, stuff like that. Um,
Even if y'all aren't in the market for a new game, go watch this trailer. It slaps.
it's
That
pretty
music,
good.
I was like dancing.
It's got a pretty dang good soundtrack, or demo music, whatever you wanna.
Hmm.
Yeah, there's a fire horse. There's magical creatures. There is a ponyta in this game. Um, so yeah, that is Gaucho in the Grasslands. It looks very cool. Release date aiming for February 2025. Not terribly far away, to be quite frank. Um, I highly suggest everyone check out that trailer again, if for nothing else, for that sick music.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, looks great. Obviously heavy bias here for the Latin stuff, but any
Also,
sort of
the dog
minority
has a
thing.
mustache,
Yeah,
and the dog also has like those like eye tufts that
as
he
as
like
is in
can't see.
Mexico, as
He's just so cute.
is pretty good. It's the yeah, everyone knows that design now. It's pretty popular these days. The thick eyebrows and the mustache
The thick eyebrows on the
that you can't. Yeah,
dog.
it's good, good stuff.
Yep,
Looks very colorful. Very, very
it
cool looking
does.
game.
It does.
And if say you need more cowboying, you can also look at Cattle County, bleh, Cattle Country. Uh,
Wee.
I'll read the blurb. Uh, Howdy, partner. Welcome to Cattle Country, the only cozy cowboy adventure life sim. In Gaucho in the Grasslands now standing, notwithstanding. Become a determined pioneer traveling west to start a new life. Make a home in the mountains, take on bandits, discover dastardly plots, build a farm, develop your town, and make friends with fellow residents. Should I have read that in a
Yeah, you
Western
should have.
twang?
You should have
I can
100%.
do it.
Let's do it. Please do it again.
All right, here we go. Here you go, Al. Here's your editing work. All right. So, here's Cattle Country. I'll read the blurb here. Howdy, partner. Welcome to Cattle Country, the only cozy cowboy adventure life sim. Become a determined pioneer traveling west to start a new life. Make a home in the mountains, take on bandits, discover dastardly plots, build a farm, develop your town, and make friends with fellow residents. There we go.
That was not what I was
Nailed it.
expecting. Nailed it. Oh, I want you to talk like that forever now. That just my dopamine just went through the roof. Also, if you are if you're the word cozy was said in a title,
It-
take a shot of water.
Oh, that's
Take a
already
shot
two
of water.
shots. Um,
Oh
so
gosh.
this one, unlike Gaucho and the Grasslands, is more Stardew-esque with your top-down pixel-ish look. They do try to, have that more pioneer westerny, not even western, more pioneer, I'd say, right? Because when I think western, I think out in the more deserty with the tumbleweeds and whatnot. We got grassy areas, so think more pioneery. But they got the music, they got some of the designs. All things considered, like it does look fun. You got guns and you're pew pewing at other cowboy guys, I guess. You got fishing. You've got uh chopping trees,
Yep.
lumberjacks, these houses, riding a horsey, mining, all of the usual
Oh yeah.
fixins.
Texans.
Yeah, there you go.
Uh,
So that is and with an open beta coming October 25th. So get in the saddle.
oh my gosh.
And wish list now. They should have hired me to do the Western voiceover.
They really should.
But yeah, no actual release date, but just again that open beta later this month, so you guys can check it out.
Keep an
Um,
eye out.
there's a saloon. I mean, of course there is.
Course there.
I like Western cowboy motifs. I don't think they're leaning heavily enough into it. Actually, that's probably
Yeah.
my biggest complaint. The color palette just should be more brown and orange and whatnot. But I digress.
Yeah.
Um, check it out. It is what it is. All right. Next up, going from well, actually, I'm sure Cozy is. Do they have Cozy in there? Oh, I don't know if they
They
actually have
don't.
Cozy.
They don't have it in this one. This upcoming
No, there's
one.
no Cozy. But they do have another hallmark of several cottagecore games: sexy fish people. Um, and we're talking about Forgotten Waters, an underwater farm sim. Create your dream
Mm-hmm.
farm in an underwater world. Grow, build, and thrive under the sea. So yeah, you play as a fish person, with feet, no mertail or whatever. Think of like Luca. That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
Yassified Luca
Yes.
with an octopus for hair. Like it's literally just an octopus sitting on your head.
yeah. It is. Yeah.
That's forming your dreamy locks. So yeah, it is underwater largely, but I think you can go to the surface because you're having dinner with what looks like a regular human.
Yeah. At one point, you're in like a tavern that is like doesn't seem like it's under the water.
Yep.
Looks like you're
So
dating a lander,
this is
landlover. I don't know.
this is just Luca, the game. It really is.
Oh wow.
Have you seen
Okay.
Luca?
I have not.
Oh well,
Do you
it's
recommend it?
yeah, I enjoyed it. It's
Okay.
not bad. It's not not one of the top tier, but
Right.
I enjoyed it for what it is.
I've
It's
I've
a fun.
been making my way through them. I just saw Princess and the Frog for the first time like not too long ago. So,
That
and that's been a while.
yeah, that one's oh man. Like that one's not stellar, but the fact that it's 2D makes it so much better.
Dude, but I really liked that the villain and his song.
Oh
Like I
yeah, oh
think
no, Dr. Facilier is top tier and his song is such a banger.
yeah.
Like holy mackerel. Oh my god. Yeah, he's fantastic filling the song. Oh,
Yeah.
friends on the other side.
Are you
That's what you can have
ready?
if you play Forgotten Waters.
100%.
Friends on the other side. So this is a Kickstarter. They have already they've just hit their goal of 10. It's a little over 10,000. They're almost at 11,000. About 2 weeks to go. Or at least time of recording October 23rd.
Mm-hmm.
Um. So wait, what? One of the stretch goals is the jellyfish will assist you in combat. Okay. Um. Yeah.
I need to see that.
I did too. But they've
How
caught
do
my
they do
attention.
that? I need to know.
You can see the romantic candidates down there. There are two
Question
land people.
mark?
No, three, maybe four. I'm not sure if that guy in the bottom left. He's
Mm-hmm.
got a lot of metal going on. He might be a robot man. I don't know,
Okay.
or girl person. I don't know. Bernia.
Robot
Um,
human.
robot thing. Oh man, they're running the gambit of fish people. We got one with no pupils. We got Amaya. We got it looks like just an air stewardess lady, Jolene. Um, okay, yeah, there you go. And all sorts of other characters. Yeah, there you go. There's all your attractive fish people and underwater crops. Why can't I just date what's Sidon from Breath of the Wild? That's the ultimate one, really.
So from looking at the trailer, I was like really not sure what they were going for, but they say it for you. They say, quote, inspired by beloved classics such as Harvest Moon, Rune Factory, and Chrono Trigger. So that's what they're going for.
Chrono Trigger's specific. That's a good one too.
That is very specific. That is going back to nostalgia.
Yeah.
It combines farming, resource management, and combat. To sustain the underwater town, you must tend to the land, sow seeds, and nurture crops. However, you must safeguard against hostile sea creatures and lurking enemies in the depths.
Okay, so there's looks to be a little bit of creaturey stuff. Well, I don't know, monsters, I guess. Again, Chrono Trigger, right? That's what it's all about. Yeah, no, I mean, they do have some fun monster design, so they have piqued my interest with this Chrono Trigger thing, because that's quite a call out you don't see very frequently in this sphere of the gaming world. Yeah, check it out. That is again called Forgotten Waters. It's already backed, so that's again theoretically should happen, but it's Kickstarter, so so there we go. That's
the news.
That's the news. That's all the new games. All right. And now we can dive on in and free Codey from her chains.
Thank you.
Tell us about Township, Codey.
Okay, so I will take the reins. So this is one of those games, if you've played any game, period, that has ads, you have probably seen ads for Township.
If you touched Facebook in like the 2010 to 2015 years, you have seen this game.
Yeah. So this game did just celebrate its 11-year anniversary. So it's
right. It actually is years. From that era.
It is. So it's been around for a while. And I basically think of this game as if Farmville and Candy Crush had a baby. Because it has both of those mechanics. And it kind of has like half and half. Like half the game is farming and it's like the town part of it. Which is the Farmville part. And then the other half is this like adventure side that it doesn't make sense as to why this is even happening. But you do it. One thing, I'm going to crap on this game a lot. Spoiler, I'm not going to recommend it unless you really just do need your mind occupied at all times.
I feel like there are better things to occupy your mind with.
There are better things. But this game is actually ad-free. I did not hit a single ad. It doesn't offer for you to watch ads to increase things or anything, or to like decrease times. It just asks for the currencies. So that was pretty, I appreciated that. I appreciated it that it was truly ad-free.
That is wild. Like even I'll play like one of the games I play is called Battle Cats, and it's not egregious, but they always have the hey, watch your ad to get your free can of cat food or whatever. Yeah. So I'm shocked to hear that. That's wild.
Yeah, the biggest mobile game that I play consistently is actually a cross-stitch one that I play with my grandma. And we send photos back and forth. So, like, if I take a really cute photo of, like, Stella, I'll send it as a cross-stitch, like, puzzle for her to fill in. And
that's such a cool concept. I love that.
Yeah, so you basically create a cross-stitch with like, the app, and then, like, a cross-stitch thing, and then you do it on the phone. So it's, like, kind of like a color. It's like a puzzle or a color by number thing. It's a color by number, basically.
Hmm.
And then you can send it. And so I also, while I was in Costa Rica, I was sending her a lot of really cool photos. So she basically every day had a small little cross stitch to do, and it would reveal a photo of what I was up to. So, and she sends me pictures too. And that game had ads, and I saw Township ads all the time. But I recently, actually, they had a thing where it was like buy in-game currency one time and get rid of ads forever. And there was this $2 deal, and I was like, honestly, I've been playing this game quite a bit, and I don't see it going anywhere. So I'll give them $2, and then I won't have to deal with the ads anymore.
Sure.
Which was nice. But yeah, don't have to even worry about that with Township. They just straight up are ad free. The frustrating thing then is that there isn't a way to like counteract the fact that they want you a million times, like in any way, shape, or form, to buy their currencies. So this game it just bombards you with like, for the next 30 minutes, buy this many, like spend this much, and don't get one, don't get two, but get 4 times as much currency or whatever. And it's just like, ugh. It has a bunch of different currency systems. So all of these games usually have a free currency system, which is the coins. And I always have a ton of the coins. So that's annoying. Because I'm like, please just let me get rid of these things. It has that paid currency, which is dollars, and it does the standard thing where it throws a bunch of the dollars at you at the beginning, so you think that you're going to get them all the time, and then
First hit's free.
It trickle feeds them to you at the end, late game, and so then every time that buy 10 things, get 100 right now for the next 5 minutes, like
right now.
Right in this moment.
5 minutes until you can never ever have this again.
If you X out of this, it will never happen. Like, yeah. So I could see how people can get like sucked into that kind of stuff. And then of course you can use that paid currency to reduce times on anything. And unlock things that you otherwise would remain locked behind a paywall. Blah, blah, blah. So on the main screen, like as I was writing the show notes, there were 3 reward-based systems as well. So one is like if you build the next community buildings, for example. I think I was building like a wedding chapel and that kind of stuff, like a firehouse and whatever. If I build those, I get to like open a box that gives me like rewards and experience. So that was one reward system. Another reward system was for me to do certain tasks. So it's like send resources by helicopter 5 times, send resources by train 5 times, like you make 4 donuts today, like, and then you get rewards for that. And then another one is this piggy bank that I just unlocked. So as you go, it unlocks more reward systems. So I cannot even imagine how stressed my phone would be if I made it to like another level, because it would just unlock a new reward system. And I'd be
my God, this is dangerous. Nothing like good old fashioned just this where they obfuscation, right? Levels of obfuscation.
Capitalism.
Capitalism.
But yeah, so that one's a piggy bank. The most recent reward system I got was a piggy bank. And you earn cash in the piggy bank. And it currently says that I have like 76 of the earned currency, like the dollars, in that piggy bank. But to access them, I have to pay $3 of like IRL money, like real
That's
money.
just uncalled for.
Yeah, so it's like you've earned all this stuff. Like, do you want this money? You should pay to get this money. And I was like, no, dude, no. So
pay to get the money. Oh, that's great.
Yeah, pay to even access the stuff that you've already earned, quote unquote. So that's like I think the biggest issue that I have with this game is just, and you know, it makes sense. It's free to play. It doesn't have ads. They have to throw a money, like actual give us money system at you or whatever. I genuinely don't really know how to get around it. Like, my brain was thinking, like, if they could put out like a $10 or $15 version of the game that would get rid of all of that. But I don't know. I think that's just the nature of games these days. And so...
Well,
mobile games?
I mean, yes and no, right? Well, I mean, at the core of it, right? Like, so many mobile games, apps, or not even mobile, a lot of the console games, right? Games as a service, subscriptions, yada, yada. Like, absolutely, right? It's all about the long-term monetization, right? But at the same time, I think other games in this modern day and age are a little better about it. For instance, Zenless Zone Zero, the game I discussed earlier, I forgot to mention, that one's free to play. And of course they sell, you know, like, being a gotcha game, that's where you can dump money in. I haven't dumped any money in, actually. But the point is, like, they can still offer, a lot of games these days still offer a lot without having to pay or be so heavy-handed about it. Excuse me.
Yeah.
So much of what you described does feel like very much from the era of that Facebook gaming era. You know, Candy Crush, or Farmville.
Farmville.
Yeah.
Yep. And so that's how the game is. So that's the currency. And then there's the two parts of the game. There's the Farmville part and there's the Candy Crush part. So the Farmville part has 6 categories of things that you can build. And each, as you level up, more things unlock. So the 6 things are houses, community buildings, factories, farming, decorations, and then a special category. So it basically is all centered around the fact that you have a population size. And when you are at a smaller population size, at a certain point, you hit a point where you're like, okay, well, you have the capacity to have 100 people in your population, but there's only enough houses for 60 people. So then you're like, okay, I'll build more houses. And then at a certain point, it's like, there's enough houses, you don't have enough stuff to have a higher population. So then you have to build the community buildings. So that's when you'd like build a police station, and then suddenly your population goes up, but it's like, oh, you could have 150 people, but you don't have enough houses. And so then you buy houses, and it just basically, you just do that forever.
Of
Like,
course.
you just are continually building community buildings to increase your population, and then building houses for them. And
you got to click those cookies.
Got to click the cookies. So you do that, and the higher your population gets, the more fields you can have for farming, because the people work on in the fields, and so then that's how you can make it so you don't only have like 10 fields or whatever, and you can grow more things at one time. And then the community buildings, like the chapel, the fire station, the police station, all of those things, they take time. They take like however long, I guess it gets longer and longer the later level you are. But once the time is up, it then requires building resources. So this is when it's like, to finish building this building, you need 6 hammers and 2 panes of glass and 5 bricks. And you get all of that from like some of the quests that you do, the train, like putting resources on the train to be shipped off. And then you also can sometimes get them in the Candy Crush half of the game. So basically, like, or you can just buy them. Like, underneath each of them, it's like, I just want to buy it. And then you can pay for it for like 50 in-game cash. Or you can also ask your friends. Like, you can do the thing where you ask a friend, like, hey, can I have a hammer?
Oh, yeah.
But like,
the good old Facebook, ask your friends for help. Oh,
did not connect this to my Facebook. I did not do any of that. I was just like, nope. So I didn't worry about any of that.
But man, there's something almost nostalgic about that now.
It is, yes, 100%.
You Can you imagine that in the modern day, like on your Switch, like you're playing Animal Crossing and you can send notifications to your friends?
One of my grandmother's friends, her name is Betty. She and I played Farmville together. And I remember my grandma asked me once, she's like, Betty said you didn't send her something today. Are you mad at her? I was like, no, I just haven't played. No.
Yeah, that's exactly what I want.
So that's like good nostalgia of Facebook gaming right there. So that's two of the buildings, houses and community buildings. Factories and farming you pay for them with the coins. They're free to, they don't cost anything. They're not going to be like, where are the building resources? They just get built. These are all based on time constraints. So like it takes 10 minutes for cows to be milked. It takes a minute for wheat to be farmed and everything. And then you can, scroll your finger over all of to harvest everything.
You buy that super milker for $3.99.
Yeah, we have it.
Super milker package.
They might. I mean, I honestly didn't look that hard. So yeah, you get access to more plots as your population increases. The folks in town are always asking for the resources that you can create. So you farm for those resources or use the factories to create whatever materials they want. So, for example, at the time of writing the show notes, someone was asking me one person was asking me for a shirt, a cheese, and 2 cream. So the shirt can be produced at the tailor shop for 1 cotton fabric, and the cotton fabric can be produced at the textile factory with 2 cotton. So it's like this, you have to do this here and that there, and harvest 2 cotton and then make it cotton fabric and then make it a shirt. The cheese and the cream can be produced at the dairy factory. 1 cheese for 2 milk and 1 cream for 1 milk. So it's basically just, you wait for it to process or whatever. Yeah. And then you turn those in, you get coins, you get experience. I don't think you get any resource, like building resources or anything from that. But sometimes there's a quest that's like complete 5 villager requests or whatever. So
Yep.
And then, of course, these get increasingly more elaborate as you level. Like, some of the first ones were just like 2 eggs. I just want a carrot, and now it's like everyone wants everything. Another of those categories was decorations. I don't care, so I didn't look at them.
That's correct.
And then the special category includes things that for example, there was this thing called the House of Luck, which you can pay. It says the dollars. I think that's not accurate. I think there's like an extra currency that you get from like visiting friends' villages.
Of course.
Which I don't have any friends in the game, so I didn't do that. But you can get you can use that to spin like a wheel and receive things. And then you have to pay more to like spin again. Oh, or you can buy those with money.
There you go.
The city market there's like a guy who has resources that you may need. So like a guy who's selling like 5 cookies. So instead of having to sit and make 5 cookies and, the cookies require milk and eggs and flour, or wheat or whatever, you can just buy them from this guy. And sometimes it's for the dollars, and sometimes it's just for the coins. So I was like, oh wow, like I can just buy this all. Oh, and I will say that it also thresholds your barn. So your barn has a limited amount of size, of course, like a limited storage. And so you have to use the building resources to increase the storage of your barn. And of course,
you can buy
the
super
building
barn.
Resources. No, there wasn't a second barn. The building resources take up space in your barn. Like every single thing you have takes up space in your barn. So that is the Farmville side of it. Do you have any questions about that?
Nope. That sounds exactly what I would expect.
I had only made it to cows, chickens, and sheep. And then I'd like opened up a fast food restaurant and like opened up all this other stuff, like as factories that you can use to make stuff for people. But I just kind of stopped doing all of that. So that is the Farmville side of it. And then like after you play on that side for a bit, it's like, oh, looks like you're waiting for things to happen. Go on an adventure. And I was like, okay. And so you go on the adventure side and it opens up a whole new map where you are literally discovering, like basically going through a map. The first one is like an old amusement park. So there's like different, like a merry-go-round and a Ferris wheel and like all of these weird broken down things that have been taken over by sludge. There's no lot, like it doesn't explain anything. But you are these two guys. I guess you're the one guy at first, but then you unlock more people as you go along. And it does absolutely nothing when you unlock more people. And you just go along and use energy to unblock the path in front of you. So there's like stuff in your way to continue the story on that side. So for example, I just did a thing where you come upon these bears that are mad and won't let you pass. So you go to find honey, but then when you go to the honey, the bees are hungry and they need you to bring them grapes. So you go get grapes for them. No, you go find a smoker first and then you go get grapes for them. And then your friend falls in a hole. So you need to go get a rope to get him back out of the hole. And like all of these things are taking you to like different parts of the map. So you have to unlock all of the spots and use energy for that. And of course, when you run out of energy, you replenish that energy by playing Candy Crush. And I'm not even going to explain how that works. If you don't know what Candy Crush is, don't even look it up. Count yourself lucky. Move on with your life. It's 100% Candy Crush.
It's Facebook Tetris.
It's Facebook Tetris. And I was on like level 120 by the time.
Of course. That's where I was like, everything, obviously designed to get your hooks in, but there had to be something, and that's the one that gets you, that reels you in.
The Candy Crush reeled me in. And it's in my blood. It's genetic because my mom is also is actually addicted to Candy Crush and is like still actively playing it. And she's on like level 7,000 something, whatever right now. Whatever the max level is, she's probably attained it.
The Tetris-like puzzle games are just inherently fun, right?
They are. I do really like it, and it's very colorful, and it's like, wow, you've unlocked something, and it's like all really cool and stuff. But like, it got its hooks in me for sure. And you do that and you're finding chests and resources and you complete quests on that side too. So it's like, you need to remove 600 green blocks while you're playing Candy Crush. Doesn't call it Candy Crush, but it is. And then you get resources from that side, and you only have, so if you hit a level that you can't beat, you only have 5 chances to like pass that level or whatever. Like you have lives and it gets rid of them, and sometimes you can find stuff that gives you like unlimited lives, but it just is never certain, I guess. I don't know.
Sure.
So, yep. And it gets its hooks in you. And so you do that while you're waiting for your factories and your farm stuff to grow and all of that stuff. And then when you're done then you go back over there and then you check on all of that and fulfill quests. And then you go back over to the Candy Crush thing and you just keep going back and forth forever until
That's correct.
Throw your phone across a bridge.
There you go. It's pretty diabolical / ingenious to combine the two, right? Like, somebody looked at Farmville and said, you know what? We need something to do while they're waiting. What if we put Candy Crush? And lo and behold, it worked. In 10 years, 11 years running, right?
Yep. 11 years. They just celebrated 11 years.
Well, there you go.
It's wild.
If you like Facebook games, well, stop. First, just stop. There's better things
No,
this year.
everyone is allowed to like what they like. If you really think that like you miss Farmville, you miss those days, or if you have been wanting to do Candy Crush and Farmville all in one game, this is the game for you.
There you go.
Don't spend too much of your own personal money. You can just wait for a lot of these things and like just wait to earn more energy back. Wait for things to come in. Like every day you get daily reward bonuses and stuff. Like you can just do that too. Like it's just
Discipline.
Stay disciplined, friends. Cool. I'm going to uninstall this right now.
There's discipline.
Delete. Delete.
She managed to hold on to it until this episode. There you go. Oh,
And
there's
that's Township.
Township. I was about to say town, but oh my gosh. Okay, Township. Yay. Woo.
Yeah.
We did it. Cody
did
survived the ordeal to get to this episode. And now the episode is done. We did it.
Thanks.
All right. Yeah. Now, well, thank you so much, Cody, for reporting and sharing your thoughts on that. Good stuff.
Of course. I was glad. I was like, oh, I get to record with Kevin. I haven't talked to Kevin in a while.
Yep. This was a lot of fun. Good tangents. Welcome to the Animal Cast. We like animals.
Animal Cast.
And if you want to, I was about to say find more animals. Well, you should probably go see Cody. If they do want to see more animal stuff, where do they find you and your stuff? Because there's a better chance of that.
Yep. I am at Hiking Beagle, B-E Eagle, on Instagram, and then you can also find me on the Slack.
There you go. You can find me at Cooper Prez on Twitter if you want to see my personal account, which is mostly other people's funnier, smarter, more interesting memes and such.
Art account.
Or the art account, which I forgot to update, but we'll be doing that post-haste. Follow my October, September, whatever, month-long journey at Spriter Squared. I'm going to probably maybe do like 2 or so a day just to catch up. I'm working on them, but I just got to post them on the account now. Whoopsie. Yeah, find me at Spriter Squared. Or you can find me over at Rainbow Road Radio, the Mario-centric podcast I do with our good friend Alex. It's a good time to be a Mario fan. A lot of good stuff coming out. We've got it's spooky month, so we're gonna be playing Luigi's Mansion 2 this year. Because we did the first one last year.
That's so fun.
Yep. So looking forward to that episode soon. I don't think it will be out yet when this one drops, but soon. If you have any complaints or comments, find Al. You can find him, ScottBot on Mastodon, or Mastodon.Scott on Twitter and Mastodon, so on and so forth. If you want to find stuff about the show, Al does pretty good job of updates and sharing things, so you don't have to wait every week to hear things like with 1 day left or whatever. Find us on Tumblr or Twitter at THSPod, same handle for both, or find us at our central hub, harvestseason.club, a site which has all the episodes, the show notes, or you can put feedback, links, ask questions. We say Al puts feedback, but really it's email, so just email him whatever, ask questions, bother Al. And links to all the stuff we talked about in the show. Or if you want to go to the high end, the bougie end of our system here, go to patreon.com/thspod, where you can give Al money and in return gain access to first the ISE Slack, which you can talk about all the episodes and stuff with the other listeners.
The THS Slack?
The THS Slack, yes. The
You said ISE.
Did I say ISE?
You said ISE.
Really? Wow. Oh,
that's
wow.
a different podcast, y'all. That's a different thing.
Wow. Okay. Gosh. I'm gonna have to play that back. I'm really shocked I said that. Okay. Anyways, find the Slack there to listen, to talk with all our friends and all the hosts hang out there. See the discourse from the Slack, from the the tier lists. That's a very good example. Wars were started. Um, but also you can gain access to the greenhouse, our premium uh, uh content
Mm-hmm.
show of other topics, not necessarily cottagecore stuff. For instance, if you didn't get enough of our bad tier lists, Al and I did rank fix our movies. I wasn't happy with our tier list, so it was good times.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's all for this week, folks. Thank you, Cody, for coming on and recording. Thank you, Al, for I guess being sick and letting us be on instead.
I did thank Al for being sick so that I could cover
That
Township.
is true. He did.
I did. It's taking one for the team.
Yep. Al should emphasis on should be back next week. And I will be as well for a
Mm-hmm.
very episode I am very excited about. As we discuss something I don't think we've really talked about before. Not a
Mm-hmm.
game. I'll just leave it at that. I don't know. Has Al
Mm-hmm.
said it? What it's going to be next week? I don't know.
I don't remember, but I'm looking at the thing, and
Yeah, well,
there.
of course you can see what it is, but
So
it
I don't know
is.
if he said yet. So
Yeah, I don't know either, but it's going to be a fun one. A little different from our usual because, well, you'll just see it's not a medium that I think we've seen too frequently in
yeah,
our sphere here.
yeah.
Um, but so look forward to that. And until next time, everyone,
Have a
have a
good
good harvest.
harvest.
The harvest season is created by Al McKinley, with support from our patrons, including our pro farmers, Kevin, Stuart, and Elisa. Our art is done by Micah the Brave, and our music is done by Nick Burgess. Feel free to visit our website, harvestseason.club, for show notes and links to things we discussed in this episode.
Wait, say it like a cowboy or whatever.
Okay, you know what? Hold on. This is. I have got to make my voiceover reel with this and the Rainbow Road Radio stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Until next time, partners. Have a good harvest.
And then the outro
Western
music.
melody.
Yeah, that down,
Yeah.
down, 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 down.